So I think I'm going to start streaming again. This time I'm only working with one camera, but I wanted to say happy belated Labor Day, and I hope you guys have been doing well. Um, this is what I've been working on, a little blanket with different color variations that I've been using. I've been using, well, basically these ones and the pink that I'm about to run out of. And I've been using 3 different knitting styles with my hands. But basically this is something I taught myself with YouTube while I've been pregnant. And I think I started around, not just this project, but I started learning that new hobby around 26 weeks pregnant, and I'm now 35 weeks pregnant. So baby is due October 2nd, so basically 1 whole month away, if he can last that long. Still a little indecisive on a name, but I'm thinking Rocky. Maybe Rocky Lee. Not sure yet. So this is what I'm doing over here. Basically just going row by row. And the pink is called Watercolor Wishes, but I will be doing a purl stitch with these. So basically in each loop I just push the yarn through, and this is basically just the reverse of a simple stitch or a simple knit stitch, where you pull the yarn through instead of pushing it through. So we're going to attempt to see how far I can go in just a little bit of time, because it took a minute to set up my stream. Like, I debated on streaming with my PC, but I didn't think I had enough viewable space for the blanket on my desk, so I went with my initial thought, which would have to be the laptop, kind of like how I stream puzzles sometimes. And Legos I can do at my computer because it doesn't take up a lot of desk space. But I'm currently streaming in a new category, and these are kind of like tight stitches. Like, when I started this blanket, working with this thread was my first time. Well, not thread, it's yarn, but working with this yarn was my first attempt, because I've done bulkier yarn. This is called super bulky, and it's a size 6, and I've made 3 other blankets with jumbo yarn, which is size 7, but this is what is called hand knitting. I'm hand knitting this blanket. I'm not using any tools. I'm not using knitting needles, and I'm not using a crochet hook. Just using my fingers. So I thought it was pretty cool thing to pick up, because I've tried crochet before when I was younger, but I only knew how to crochet chain stitch, so just a straight line. I didn't really know the other fundamentals to build off of the chain stitch, so I'd always just say I made like a snake or a jump rope or something. And the chain stitch is kind of like the foundation stitch, you know, for these blankets. And foundation stitches are kind of like the trickiest, because that's where you decide how big you want your blanket to be, with how many loops you're going to make. So this is the last stitch on the end over here, but this is eventually going to be the border. And blue was the first color I did. See how it's kind of loose, which is okay, but it's a baby blanket, so I don't really want it to be too loose. I might, when I'm finished with this blanket, I might go back and, see, I don't think I'm going to have enough string for this whole section, so I might even just cut it off here. But I will attempt to go do it, and if I can't, I can always just unloop it. Okay, just want to make sure got it set. So yeah, I'm in a new streaming category for makers and crafters, so that's kind of cool. I've done the building category, like Legos and building. I've done in real life. I've done just sleeping, I'm only sleeping or whatever. I thought about coming back with a sleep stream, but I didn't want to seem too lazy, you know, even though it was Labor Day, and it's always good to enjoy rest. See, and the thing is, if I do make this yarn last, it's not going to last all the way to here, so I'll just stop it. I'll just stop it right here, and then switch color, I think. So we'll, which is a little tricky with this yarn, I found out. Because I have been doing the burning method, and I figured that this yarn doesn't burn very well, it just kind of melts. Like, you don't get a flame to it. So you kind of get your other yarn ready, and you're gonna trim the sides off. Let's see. I'm gonna trim the ends off and melt it together. So that it kind of works. I'm also going to tie this because I found out that this yarn kind of unravels, as I should say. Comes apart pretty easy. So I'm just going to ravel it tie it first. Anybody can do this. I've got these skeins of yarn off of Facebook, and I got 2 different sets of yarn. I got this size yarn, which was a size 6 that I mentioned before. And then I had gotten some ivory colored yarn, which I had made into a bigger blanket for my mom. It was the first time I made a really big blanket, because the 2 times before that I made kitty blankets, so much smaller scale. Even this is a baby blanket, but it's one of the bigger baby blankets I've made. So let's attempt to burn these two together. As you can see, it kind of just melts. Doesn't really catch a flame. And then you just push them together. So I do feel like with this yarn you still have to be pretty delicate with the ends. But see, now these two colors are conjoined. Okay, now let's try it. Oh, I already messed up. We're gonna go through. Alright. I might have messed up a little bit, but it is what it is. 'Cause this is the corner. Right? This is the edge piece. We're gonna leave that. We're gonna go through like this. There we go. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure that's how it's supposed to go. Or did I not? I can't remember what I did before this. Too busy talking. Okay. I don't even know how to. I think we're okay. I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out. Like I said, we can always come back and check. But we're switching colors now. We're going, oh, that's right. We're switching colors and also switching patterns. So we're going to be switching to the seed stitch instead of the pearl stitch. So that's in, that's to go in, and then, so going in, pulling it out, I should say, and then pushing through. So push through, pull out. Don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna bring the thread to the front, push it through, and then bring the thread to the back and pull through. So front, push in, back, pull through. Like I said, I'm doing kind of smaller loops because I don't want big holes. I want it to be kind of tighter. But this is kind of how this thread looks. And this is also the back side. This is more the front side. Very soft. Very soft indeed. But I just wanted to come in and see how everybody was doing, show you what I'm doing, talk a little bit before I go to bed. Like I said, I did think about doing a sleep stream because I do have my computer, my PC set up in a different room now, since I'm using the baby room. Well, my old computer room has a baby room now. Still need to get the crib painted and put together, but pretty much everything is in order for baby arrival. And this will probably get tighter as I go too, because I'm getting used to the seed stitch, and the purl stitch is kind of something I tried for the first time on this blanket. Like I've done the simple knitting with what I did with the blue yarn. You haven't seen that yet, but that's what I'll finish off this blanket with. And then I've done other stitches. I've done the broken herringbone stitch, and I've done the, what's it called, twisted rib, double twisted rib stitch. So I've been kind of trying to teach myself different stitches for different blankets. Like, okay, and it gets confusing if I'm talking, but I'll be okay. Yeah, and so I guess since I've been away, you know, a couple people have passed. You know, we've got Ozzy, and then we've got Hulk Hogan, and then we've got Josh Saunders, King Cobra, JFS. Oops. My dog's whining. She wants to go outside, but she doesn't normally go outside at night, so I don't really want her barking. And I've noticed that our neighbor dog has been barking a lot at night. I think they have a doggy door that the dog just kind of goes in and out whenever it wants. And I think the owners are asleep when that happens, so I don't know if they hear their dog barking or not. We're almost done with this first row. Pretty sure. Pretty sure the border on the other side's okay. But what I've noticed kind of with this is like when I'm messing with these different stitches and trying to learn, the border kind of changes size, kind of goes in and out. My dog's licking my foot right now. So yeah, we had King Cobra pass away, and then the last one we had Brent Hines from Mastodon. He sadly passed away. First he had left Mastodon, or mutually left the band, and then he passed away. Let me figure this out. So we've got this one coming through, so let's do this. I think this is how it goes. But yeah, like I said, I'm just learning this hobby, and I've made a couple pillows so far, and I'll probably do a tummy time pillow with this. But what have you guys been doing? I know the new patch for WoW has been out. I just haven't really played it very much. I haven't even played it at all yet, to be honest. I have not logged in since the patch was released. It's not that I'm not interested, it's just I don't know if I can put in the the brain power for that yet. Because I'm still in nesting mode for baby. I feel like once baby gets here, then I'll want the escape, like in between naps and feedings and stuff like that. Am I doing this right? I think this is a push through. It's hard to tell what your progress is with these blankets until you're finally done, because even if you check the back side of the stuff you just did, sometimes you find out you've missed a loop. And I did that with this other pink. If you can't tell, right here, let's see, right here, there's a little gap. You probably can't tell, but I think I pulled through when I was supposed to push through. Oh well. So this is basically just a test stream. See how it's running on the PC. Well, on the laptop, I mean. It's been a minute since I've done the laptop. And I was trying to work 2 cameras if I was going to do my PC, but you know, I needed a more working space. So if I do stream WoW eventually, I will be on camera, don't you worry. And I want to make these tighter. I feel like I should make this tighter. So I guess what I haven't been doing is putting my finger in these holes. That's what I've been doing before. Okay, and I have taken a little tiny break from this blanket because I was wanting to do it on stream. I was wanting to do it on stream, but I was nervous. I was nervous. This might help me keep track. But I was thinking if I got good enough, then maybe I could make more blankets for people. Oh my gosh, I really hope I'm doing this right. You know? I don't know, can you tell? So I just pushed that one through, now I gotta go through, I think. So push through. Pull through. through. Let me get this line done. Let me do this line real quick. But yeah, other than that, you know, I've just had some, you know, pregnancy, I wouldn't say worries, just, you know, me being anxious. Baby is doing great. He's head down already. And the placenta is anterior. So that means like it's attached to my stomach more than where they are normally placed, like closer to the back or whatever of the stomach. Like it's not at the top. I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's at the front. So it's like I've been worried. I stopped going to the gym because I didn't want any placental abruption happening. I did not want the placenta to detach. So I'm just trying to play it safe. I could do more walking now that it's getting cooler, but I kind of stopped walking a lot because it was really hot this summer, and I didn't need to overheat. But I did go for a hike at Starved Rock on Saturday. Took my son with my family, and that was pretty nice. I haven't been to Starved Rock since I was last pregnant with my son. Yep, so that was about 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago. We got to see a little waterfall. We're lucky we got to see a waterfall because it seemed like a lot of the water was dried up. But I've noticed when I've been making some of these blankets, since I've learned, you know, a few weeks ago, I was listening to a song on repeat when I needed to get in the zone, and that was Fuzzy Planet by Arcadia. And that's Mastodon's, well, Ron Daler from Mastodon. That's his side project. I don't know if you guys heard of it or not. I haven't heard about it until more recently. It's pretty cool. Like I said, he's a drummer for Mastodon, but in the music video, they have him as like the main singer in the main singer slot area. And he's got clown face paint on. I'm going to attempt to let my dog outside, I think, once I get to the end of this. I'm hoping she does not bark when I let her outside because it is nighttime. And like I said, my neighbors have been letting their dog outside at night, and it seems like it's been barking on most nights for hours at a time, and yeah, it can be annoying. Okay. Let me start this real quick. So I did my border piece. I'm going to leave that alone and start with the next one. And make the yarn go over here, my working yarn. Okay, push through. But yeah, like I said, I was pretty sad about Brent from Mastodon perishing from a motorcycle crash. In his hometown. It sucks. I was telling my husband that it seemed like he was safer on a tour bus. And in the music video for Show Yourself, there was a Grim Reaper trying to get all the guys from Mastodon. And so it looks like that Grim Reaper got a promotion for getting one of the guys. It just sucks because I've met him in real life. Oh no, what's going on here? This looks wonky. Maybe it's just... Maybe it's nothing. Maybe I'm just freaking out. Okay. Don't want it to be a skipped stitch. Okay. I'll be right back. So yes, this is second to last color that I'm going to use for it. So I'm working with this color right now, which is Watercolor Wishes. This one is Pinkaboo, and this one is Aquamarled. And then this one, this darker one, is called Main Fair, but I'm probably going to use this one for a tummy time pillow when I eventually get, I think, an insert. I think I'm just going to try to find a relatively plain tummy time pillow and work around it, I think. Other than that, I can build from scratch and just put polyfill stuffing in. So it looks like I gotta pull through. Freaking out over here about this blanket. Yeah, what's going on? I think this is supposed to be pulled through as well. Oh, now it's pushed through. Push through, pull through. Push through. Pull through. And been doing a lot more potty breaks recently, so that's something. Oh my gosh, my loops are pretty small. So it's hard to tell what I'm doing. So my dog's outside. I'm gonna let her in eventually. And then I might take a potty break. But, like I said, if I get good enough at this, fast enough at this, then I thought about doing like a little business or something. Maybe I had my friend help me if I was able to teach her. She seemed interested at first. She's just got a lot of stuff going on. You can buy little tags for your blankets, like customized tags. Just trying to figure out what I'd put on a tag. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. So really, we're pushing through the loops that were pulled through the last time. And we're, okay, hold on. Well, yeah, I'm back. Good thing about being pregnant is you go pee often, but you don't pee a lot. Baby's just sitting on my bladder, making me feel like I need to pee a lot. Okay, so now we are pulling through the loop that was pushed through. Alright, and now we're going to push through the loop that was pushed through last time, I think. It sounds like it's wrong, but because there's like an odd number of loops on my chain, it kind of switches up when you get to the border, because then you'll just rotate the way you started, like, okay. So we are, yes. Pulling through. Push through. And these skeins of yarn are 38 yards. And it kind of feels like it takes forever. But with the thicker, chunkier yarn, can't remember how many yards it is, but it feels like it moves a lot faster. Like, I do have to be very tedious with this because the yarn kind of feels like it kind of pulls apart if you're not careful with it. Like, it gets fluffy. And that's why I was tying the ends earlier, is because I noticed if I didn't tie the ends when I was doing the switching of the skin color, then it was unraveling. And you don't want that, especially if you're running, if you've tried to end a color on a border piece and you don't have any more of that color. But yeah, so Sunday I went to church, which was nice. I've been going to church a lot more recently since I've been off stream. Trying to focus on that a little bit more. And last night I watched Rocky, the movie, for the first time. I've never seen the Rocky movie all the way through until last night. Maybe it was the night before. But I was supposed to watch Rocky 2, and then I was like, hey, Roman fella, I was wondering if that was you. And then I was just like, I'll just maybe try to stream. I haven't streamed in a hot minute. Okay, so I ended with, I think I gotta go back here. Is this a pull through? No, this is a pull through. So I will push through on this one. I think. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna I'm gonna get off stream and look at the back of my quilt. It's gonna be like missing stitches everywhere. Just kidding. Hold on. This is pull through. Push through. I told you I was making these blankets, but I was making a blanket for my friend the last time I talked to you, and so that is already done, and it was with a thicker yarn, so it's kind of easier to work with. This is pretty delicate, I'd say. I'm being extra cautious. So I push through. Now I'm doing the border piece again just to make sure. And I'm pretty sure I have to push through again, because this is a pull through. You know what? I'll just do this. I'll pull through right here. And then I'll push through this. We'll figure it out one way or another. But yeah, this is a first time attempting this stitch. How you doing? Don't mind me. I could have been sleeping. I could have done a sleep stream, but I decided to do this instead. Oh. Now see, you can't probably tell, but there's 2 green overlaps here, so I gotta pull through on this one. I'm telling you, the blue yarn that I do next is going to be a lot easier. And that'll be the last color that I'll do for this blanket. Alright, let's try pushing through on this one. I have room for that. I didn't have room for pulling it through. But I know I gotta pull through on this one. Whew. And I'll tell you what, working on these blankets in the summer makes you feel like you're wearing a sweater. It makes me sweat. Just because it's so warm. So this might be a better winter hobby. Yep. Trying to get the stream ready was the hardest part because I had to figure out what camera I was going to use. Oh my gosh. I think I bungled it up. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I bungled it up, guys. Because it's like supposed to alternate. Like this is what it's supposed to look like. This color right here. And this is the back side of that color. Okay. So it's supposed to kind of look like it's weaved, right? But I think I did 2 in a row when I'm supposed to alternate, if that makes sense. Like, if you think knitting is hard, like, trying to explain it is even harder. Okay. Oi, oi, oi. I'm debating on starting over that last line. This is how you take it apart. Just like this. Some people unravel their whole blanket. I tell you, I think I might have messed up. Okay. So this was this one I pushed through. And let's go back here. Maybe this is where I messed up. Maybe I fixed it just now. But to me, it looked wonky. Alright, let's see if I can do it fast. Oh my gosh. But if I can figure it out, then it's good for my brain, right? I'm working my brain here. I mean, overall, I think the stitching was looking good, like relatively tight, not very loose. So that's good. This stitch still looks wonky to me. Doesn't look like anything has happened to it. Doesn't look like it was pulled through or pushed through. So these are pulled throughs. So maybe I just do this. Okay. Now I fix that too. There. Plus, I'm a little nervous stitching on stream for the first time. You know, it's one thing to do it, but then to stream it is another thing. You know? Because now I'm talking more. Like I said, I was listening to a song on repeat. One other time. Have you checked out the song I was talking about earlier? Arcadia is the band with Bron Daler as the singer and drummer. And the song's called Fuzzy Planet. But I hope I fixed the issue here. But yes, I'm going to try to be back for streaming because my son is in school again. He's in kindergarten. He's been riding the bus. This will be his 3rd week coming up. And the first day of school was really hard on both of us. He told me he cried on the bus. And I cried at home. And then the next day, he said he didn't cry on the bus, but I still cried at home. And the 3rd day, it seemed to be getting better. I just miss my little guy. And I just worry, you know, I worry. Okay. And this looks like it's another skip loop right here. Looks like it's supposed to be, hold on, let me get there. Looks like it's supposed to be a push through. So push it through. Okay. This is also push through. Oh my gosh. These loops are really tight. Okay. I think we're back in the game. Uh, Ramen Bowls, Ramen Fella, have you been playing WoW? I'm gonna need a. I haven't even been watching streamers play. Like, I kind of tuned into some of the advanced players, you know, world first guys, but I can only watch so much of that. And I haven't been reading up on any of the blue posts. So I'm not gonna know what is what when I get in there finally. Which is kind of how I like it. I kind of like to learn the game in a weird way. Either I like to learn on my own, like in game, or I like to be told by friends what's going on. Alright, what's going on here though? Seriously. This is a push through? Pull through. Push through. Alright, pull through. So this is a pull through. So then we will do the border piece. Put this in the border. And then we will start off with a push through next. Push through. So I bring it around and then put it up front and push through. Okay, now we're gonna go pull through. Ramen! I'm just gonna start calling you Ramen Boy. Hey yo, Ramen Boy. Ramen Man. I don't know if I've ever seen you eat ramen though. I feel like you should be doing it a lot on stream. Oh, this is supposed to be pulled through. I try to eat ramen on stream sometimes, but that's during my celebrations and nobody really buys into that. I'm like, I'll eat this shitty ramen, and I say shitty because it's in a cup, you know? It's like the cup spicy stuff. And now it's like a year or two old. I'll eat this old ramen. And it just grosses me out anyways because I feel like cup ramen, you know, the top ramen and stuff like that, they've done like research on it and looked at it under a microscope, and has like, you know, bacteria in it and stuff, or like things that move around on the telescope, microscope, not telescope, microscope. Anyway, kind of grossed me out. I do like ramen though. Now it makes me want to go out to the restaurant where I like to eat ramen. Ba, 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 ba. And I've been craving a seafood boil. I'm going to wait till after baby is delivered to have that. Oh my gosh. Hopefully, oh my gosh. This looks like something was skipped here, but hopefully not. Okay. Hopefully I didn't skip anything. Thought I fixed it. There's just a big gap. Y'all. And if this hand knitting is hard, I cannot imagine crocheting and everything and knitting with needles. It's a whole different ball game. Like, those patterns look really confusing. This is kind of simple. Yeah, it does look like I skipped something right there. Should have been a pull through. I thought I fixed that. Oof. Oh my gosh. Is it a pull through? It looks like it. Pull through. Now what do I do? Maybe it's this way. Oh my word. No. Oh my gosh. It looks like I did 2 in a row a pull through and not a push through. Okay, let me see this real quick. So, hold on. I see them right here. So that, how far back does that goober me up? Am I back to the first line? Oh my gosh. I don't trust it. If I'm not that far behind, it's right here. Right here it messes up. But I feel like I gotta pull more. Bear with me, y'all. This is a work in progress. Okay. Now, I wonder if it just goes all the way back to the line before that. I wonder if I messed up the line before that. Oh my gosh. Are we just running into the same issue because I never really fixed it? This is a teaser, y'all. But it looks like it was pulled through here. It's just a really big freaking loop. Alright. Make sure. So we've got pull through, pull through, pull through, pull through, pull through, pull through. Pull through, push through. Been working on this start for a minute. It gets tricky, you know? It shouldn't be that hard, but it's like, it is if you're not fully concentrating. Oh, there's the neighbor dog again, barking. At what? I do not know. See, this is supposed to be pulled through. So have you guys seen the Rocky movies? What are your thoughts on the Rocky movies? So this is a push through. The next one that we start off with is going to be pull through. Can you hear that dog? It's like right outside this window. Kitchen window. Okay. Retry. So it was a push through, so let's try the pull through method, right? So I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to alternate when I start a new line. I'll probably do this for a little while. Hopefully I can get half the scheme done. Maybe start the blue. Show you how the blue goes. But I should probably get this finished so I can focus on other projects around the house before baby is born. Like I want to work on a shadow box that I said I was going to make a while ago, like several years ago. I want to finish that so I can make another shadow box eventually after baby's born. Tomorrow, if we have nice weather, probably get that crib painted. It's a blue color I picked for the crib. I painted a stool that was in that room pink for my daughter, and then I painted, not I, but actually Flying Bull 40 painted for me, and he painted this little table with a lamp on it yellow, because it's kind of like that, you know, pastel-y primary color. You know, you got the pink pastel-y primary color and the light blue, and the yellow I wanted because it kind of matches a globe that I wanted to put on there. So I've got a globe in the baby room, just because I want my little kiddos to be smart. Alright. What the heck is going on in this section over here? freaking me out. You know? It looks like it's doing something weird again. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's just my eyeballs playing tricks on me. With these bigger loops. As long as they're alternating like they should be. It's like I want to put on music, but I guess there's another song I've been listening to when I've been doing this. It's actually by Gojira. No, not Gojira. It's by Lorna Shore. Their new album. The song's called Unbreakable. You guys listening to any cool music nowadays? I still love the covers that Will Ramos does for Sleep Token. I'm not a huge fan of Sleep Token, but I like what the lead singer from Lorna Shore does to them. There's only a few of those covers. I wish there was more. Because he actually sings in them, he's not just screaming. Alright, so maybe we'll start this next one with a push through. God, I hope that's right. This is the border, so I'm going to leave a loop for the next row. I think I figured it out. I think I finally figured it out, guys. But I can kind of see the border is looking a little thin on the end compared to that blue, and I'll just kind of stretch it out, because I think over time the more you use it, the more it kind of just like balances out, you know, it gives where it needs to. Catching up to where I was before. So I've gifted several blankets now that have different patterns, and don't know how many more I want to gift out. Like, I'll give them to family and stuff, but you know, these yarns aren't that cheap. Like, these ones are. These are $4.99, but I didn't buy these at the store for retail price. I bought them online on the marketplace, and the other yarn that I was using to make blankets is a different brand. Like, this is Baby Bee, and I've even made a blanket with Yarn Bee instead of Baby Bee, and that is $7.99. And then the Yarn Bee brand is Hobby Lobby, and the Michaels brand is Bernat, and that is $12.99 each skein. So that's what I made the baby blankets from, and the regular Yarn Bee is what I made the bigger blanket from my mom. But it's like, if I were to make blankets for other people, I'd kind of like maybe ask for a donation to start or something, or full on charge them, like, this is how much the material was and this is how much time it took, you know, labor and costs. And that's how other people do it. And my husband works at a place where he could ship out the blankets if I really needed him to. He can provide the boxes and the shipping labels and stuff like that. So it'd be cheaper for me to do it that way. So push through, pull through, and we're ending on a push through. Hope that's right. Push through, border, border, and then we will try to do a pull through, right? We're trying to cover this blue section at least on the bottom, so I don't see it anymore. I can also just refold the blanket, but at least I know I'll be making some progress. I frocked some of this blanket already, trying to figure out some of my mistakes. Still learning the vocabulary for knitters. One thing I kind of want to do in the future is arm knit. So that's where you get the real big, bulky, like woolly stuff, and you use your arms as knitting needles. So it's like you're really caught up in it. caught up. Kinda wouldn't mind joining a knitting group. When my son was going to private school, they had a quilting room where old ladies were quilting. I just don't know very much about sewing either. I want to pick up sewing. I have a sewing machine. I have fabric. I just don't know how to do it. And if I watched and was guided, I think I'm a pretty quick learner. Because really, I want to make my own fashion. I want to make my own dresses, my own cosplays, stuff like that. Speaking of costumes, it's almost Halloween. Does anybody have any costume ideas? I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my family because I like to do themed costumes if I can. And little baby boy is going to be having his first Halloween since he'll be either born late September or early October, and we're probably not going to take him out just because that's a lot, right, to take him out in a stroller. We could, but I was kind of asking my older son, do you just want to pass out candy this year? Because he hasn't done that in a few years. We've been taking him out. I mean, of course, if there's like a trunk or treat or something, then we can take little boy in the stroller, but otherwise, I don't know if I'm going to take him around the neighborhood necessarily. Okay, so we're doing a push through and a pull through. And then the border. So now we should do a push through to start this one. So we did push through, now we do a pull through again. Push through. Pull through. But yeah, I don't know what I want to do for Halloween for costumes. It's just also exciting because then little boy is gonna be here for Thanksgiving and his brother's birthday in December, and then, you know, New Year's Eve and Christmas. When my son was born, my first son, he was in NICU for Christmas. Yep. There was a Santa that came by in the hospital and gave me, you know, or my son a little toy for Christmas. And I thought it was really sweet that there was a visit made like that for the kiddos. Yep, my son was in NICU for 3 weeks. And I was so glad that after I was discharged from my surgery, I was able to stay in the hospital still. They changed my recovery room into a hotel room, they say, and it was covered by insurance, and I was only an elevator ride away to see my son and give him all the nourishment that he needed from his mama. But even then, like, he was, for a long time, he had the tube in his nose for feeding, because he was so, he was pretty small at 34 weeks. And so he didn't really have the power in his mouth to use a bottle yet or anything like that. So he had to grow and learn how to be bottle fed, at least before leaving the hospital. And this time around, I'm hoping I can avoid bottles. So that'll be something different. It's like my goal is to have this little boy stay in for as long as he can. I would like it to be full term, and maybe I would like him to want to stay in for like 2 more days longer than the 40 weeks, just so I'm not worried about him coming earlier. So I really don't want an emergency C-section or a natural birth. I'm scared. And it's like, I feel like he's pretty big right now for what he is at for age. They say he's in the 88th percentile for growth. And just making sure, and I would like to know if he's really 35 weeks and not 37. Like if they got the guesstimation wrong for his initial growth age. All right, so we're pulling through on this one, and I see people going into labor or whatever at 36 weeks. And it's like, oh, I'm already kind of mentally preparing myself for a potential ambulance ride to the hospital. So a lot's been going on, a lot's been on my mind recently, and I'm almost ready to possibly go back to streaming, full time again. When I say full time, I wasn't really full time before. Kind of streamed when I felt like it, but I think I'm almost ready to relax and stream more. We're on the border piece, and I just did a push through. Do you hear that dog? I'm telling you, this guy is nuts. It is 3 in the morning. Pepper needs to take a chill pill. So this was a push through, but it's not a pull through. Okay, so we're gonna do a push through. Push through, That cannot be right. Is it right? Push through? No, that's pull through. Okay, so yes, it's right. It's right. So we're gonna push through this next one. Pull through. Push through. Pull through. I guess Pepper wants to say hi. Alright, let me fix this blanket a little bit. I think I kind of like it like this. So soft. Okay. But yeah, I guess one of the reasons why I was crying when my son went to kindergarten is because I was worried. You know, I ended up seeing an old school commercial for around the time Sandy Hook happened, and didn't really sit well with me. And they're like, school season has started. Do you know what that means? Or you all know what that means? And it's just like, please don't let me even think about active shooters right now. Like, and then we had one at that Catholic school in Minnesota, right? Minnesota's not too far away from Illinois. So it's just, that's what I worry about. I worry about active shooters, and I worry about creepers trying to, human traffic my son, hanging out by I'm afraid of my son wandering off with somebody saying, hey, come check this out over here, because my son's a really nice boy. And he's very sweet. And then the other thing I worry about is him not eating lunch. Like, the school actually qualifies for free breakfast and free lunch. I do send him off to school with cereal, something in the morning I let him eat. And then if he's still hungry at breakfast time at school, then he can eat something else. And they have hot lunches at school that are provided. And he's just a real picky eater. But I want him to, not be picky anymore. I want him to eat what other kids are eating. And I want him to broaden his horizons, his palate. And it's like, I'm going to test it out. This week is going to be like, yo, if you don't eat your lunch, then you don't get an allowance for the week. If you don't eat your lunch for the week, you get a star every day you eat lunch, right? Or a sticker. But if you don't eat your lunch this week, then you don't get an allowance. And every day that you don't eat lunch at school, then you don't get to play video games at home. That's what I'm thinking. And if he still doesn't eat this week, then I'll probably have to start packing him a cold lunch. But it's just like, even then, we're back to square one. He's picky, and I don't want him just eating snacks. Like, I mean, yogurts, you've got applesauce, jello, freaking string cheese, meat sticks, um, all the crackers, like Cheez-Its, and goldfish, and try not to give him Cheetos or cheese balls because I don't want him getting Cheeto dust everywhere on his clothes. And then, Capri Sun or whatever, sugar-free, preferably. And it's just, it's a cold lunch. He doesn't really like sandwiches. He'll say, I don't like it. I don't want to try it. And it's like, dude, don't you want to be big and strong? You gotta eat other stuff. You need moderation. Kids. 5-year-old kids thinking they know what's best for them. Obviously fruit. We're gonna pack him apple and oranges and grapes and strawberries and blueberries, blackberries. He likes all his fruit. I was like, why aren't you eating the assorted fruit cups at school? Or whatever. And he likes carrots and celery. It's just, those are like all snacky items. They're not like, it's not technically like a meal. Those are just all individual items. I don't know. It's like, why aren't you eating your French toast sticks at lunch? Or why aren't you eating this, these mini pizzas or whatever. Whatever they got. They have a menu and I can look at it and I'm gonna, be like, you should eat this and this today. Whether or not it reflects what the calendar says, it's a different story. Alright, so we're on a new row. Woohoo! I think we're making some headway here. Finally. But yeah, so unrelated, my PC, so I'm on a laptop right now, my PC is in my old bedroom. So if I were to do a sleep stream, it would be in a whole different room, a whole different bed from my previous sleep streams. I'd be on a queen bed this time. I thought long and hard about it, but I have put this blanket off for about a week or two, I feel. A week and a half or something from where I had left off. And this needs to get done so I can start focusing on other stuff and get it off the table. It's been on the table for too long. But I like how these colors variate. Yeah, I do sit with him, but he's one of those kids where he likes to eat and watch a tablet or something. So it's either at the table on a tablet or it's with a TV tray and sitting on the couch with a tablet. Um, but you're right. I think once baby's here again, like new baby, and in a high chair, we'll all have to just eat together as a family, for sure. Let's see. Diggy Dig, how you doing? Nice to see you. How you liking WoW? I mean, he is getting better. He's 5, and so he's learning what he likes and what he doesn't like. Cause like, see how this border is kind of going, like in. He's realizing that he likes macaroni and cheese, cause I hadn't fed him macaroni and cheese in a long time. Like, I waited a long time. You don't play WoW anymore. What? Because there's a stigma with macaroni and cheese, if you eat macaroni and cheese, that's all you're gonna eat. But he likes, chicken nuggets, and he's not a big fan of french fries at home. Like, just getting him to try new foods is tough. Spaghetti, he'll eat if there's no red sauce on it. Yeah, I wouldn't say I don't play WoW anymore, but I haven't played WoW in a while. Like, I haven't streamed for a few months, and I haven't played WoW since since last patch, because I was a little butthurt that I didn't get AOTC, because I was already behind then, because I've just been focusing on some other things at the house. Okay, so let's do if I were to use a crochet hook, I feel like this would have been the one that I was going to use, but I just have no experience with it, so I didn't even try it. When his mom and I were together, he was 2 to 4, and I need to get him to maybe cook more or something. Like, what kind of random stuff do you eat? I'll be like, well, you help me cook it, you gotta eat it, kind of thing. So let's see. I think I pull through here, and then I'll push through next. I think. Pull through, leaving the border piece out, push through. He found out this year he likes cheeseburgers. like at the beginning of the summer, he had a cheeseburger at the house, and he took basically all his toppings off and just ate the meat and whatever. He likes lettuce, so he ate the lettuce, but now he's liking cheeseburgers. He needs to eat more meat, more protein. That's all pretty good stuff. I'd eat it. I was gonna have some gyros today. There's a place called Uncle Nick's. It's supposed to be the best in my hometown for gyros. Okay. Push through. Go through. Yeah, I kind of got tired of the last season. Not because I played it a lot, but I like I told several other people, like I could just not take the goblins seriously. Like I was digging Zalatoth before that, you know, in the raid before this last one, and obviously they're like, well, the goblins are helping her, and she's like, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. And now everything's seems like it's back to normal. I just haven't logged on. I haven't logged on. I plan to, because I've told people, next time I log on, I'll add you. I just haven't. But my hubby is wanting me to log on, you know, obviously, because I have a subscription. And I was playing with my son for a little bit, you know, for the WoW Classic bit. We played for a little bit. We got that Sage circuit mount, I think. But pretty sure Legion is going on right now. Remix, right? I just have too many characters to get to max level that haven't been yet, and it's just a lot. I haven't been playing other games for that matter either. Like, I haven't been playing Fallout or anything. My character is now a ghoul though, so the next time I log on to that, she'll be a ghoul. When it comes to all the new items like crafting and whatever, that's where I kind of fall behind too. Is like I don't do professions, like, and I avoid using the where you make orders and stuff for crafts because I don't want to piss anybody off if I mess it up. you know? Like if I like this, but I didn't send them the mats, or I didn't pay them enough, or whatever. It gives me anxiety. Because people take it seriously. I just don't know. Alright, so I just did a pull through on this last one. Let's do the border piece, the edge piece here. So we got the edge. Now we need to push through. Push through, pull through, push through. Nope, I must have got pulled through that one. So what have you been streaming lately? It's true. It might not matter for me, but it probably matter for him still. Because his materials and, oh, he works so hard on his craft. Do you see how long I'm working on this craft? I'm just kidding. Alright. We need to pull through. Got like 5 rows in. Whew. I wonder how this the skein of yarn is going to finish out in color. Like, is it going to be green? I hope it's green. I hope it's back to green and purple. Because if it would be okay if it's pink, but you know, the blue is going to be following next for the last color. So I want it to mesh well. Because this is what the yarn looks like right now. I see a lot of yellow. Yellow and blue is okay. But yeah, this darker one is not going to be in this blanket. It's going to be, I think, I thought about doing a border with this. I thought about maybe doing like learning how to put a heart in the middle of the blanket or something like that. But I'm probably just going to make it a tummy time blanket. Or tummy time pillow, I mean. This is a tummy time blanket. I want to make a pillow combination. Is that like Pokemon Go? What is that? VGC. What does that mean? I would like to figure out a way how to do Pokemon Go stream. Next year, I'll probably, if I don't do a Pokemon Go stream outdoors, then I'll probably just attempt to do a roller skate stream. At least maybe one indoor and one outdoor. The place that I would go for outdoor roller skating would be the place that has a lot of Pokestops. So not Pokemon Go, it's more like battling with virtual cards or something. Thought about doing Magic the Gathering online or something like that, or let's see, Magic Arena online. I think something like that. I know my husband used to play a lot. I would even stream live action freaking Magic. Get some people over at the house and stream. Alright, so I pushed through. Now I'm going to pull through and push through again. So we push through last. We're going to do the border piece, which is very tiny right now. Tiny little border piece. Tiny little loop. Okay. So we push through. Now we're going to pull through. That dog is still barking. Oh my gosh. Like I said, I think they have, I think my neighbors have a doggy door. And they just let their dog go in and out perhaps all night. I don't know. And it literally barks from like 10 p.m. to fucking 4 a.m. Sorry. Maybe even more. It's just, I hear it all night. And I kind of went out there today and talked to Pepper. I was like, yo, shush it. What are you barking at? And I might have said a little loudly, close your door, or close the doggy door, or something, or because I feel like they're sleeping, and if they're sleeping, how do you know, like, can you hear your dog? Like, if I were to approach you, would you be surprised? Like, keep your dog inside at night or something. Disturbing the peace. Oh, thanks for stopping by, Diggy Dig. I hope you're doing well. I'll have to see if you stream anytime soon. It's been a minute. I haven't really been looking or following anybody. I've been just off my computer. Like, I moved my computer to a new room and I kind of like forget it's there. I'm like, oh yeah, that thing. so I was going to use my PC today, and I was just checking OBS, and I was like, why is only one camera turning on? Turns out it turned on if I plugged it into a different USB port, but it's like, why? Because I have this universal USB hub or whatever. I have a USB hub, and it's like I felt like everything should be able to be plugged in there and not have a problem. So I was just kind of doing some quick troubleshooting before I started this stream, and I ended up switching to the laptop, which is not very accessible because it's downstairs. And it's in my husband's like gaming area. So I had to unhook everything, and I was like, I don't even know what half of these cords are hooked into this thing, which is crazy. So when I'm not streaming this blanket next, I will be on camera, because I did figure it out. Alright, so we are pulling through. I might do this for another hour, just because I know that I have to wake my son up around 5:53, a little bit before 6, because his bus stop is supposed to be here around 6:53 or 6:57, something like that. And yeah, because his school starts at 7:20. And he'll get out around, he gets out around 2 o'clock, but he rides a bus home, so he'll be here. Depends on the bus driver and the bus route, because there's been construction around, but he's supposed to be here around 2:35, and he's been home, like, off the bus around 2:50 the latest. So I kind of been standing around waiting. So this is a push through. Push through. And now we're going to do a pull through. Pretty sure I'm doing this right. Pull through, push through, pull through, push through. Now I kind of tighten it on my finger because I don't want the loops to be too big. So if I'm tired at all tomorrow, if I don't decide to stream again, then I can always take a nap. But really, if I don't take a nap, I probably should still be trying to work around the house, like doing chores and cleaning up here and there, still getting things situated. Hold on, this is wrong. So we got pull through, push through. I feel like it is wrong. I feel like I was doing push throughs on the ones that were pulled through before. Oh, you know what? Maybe we're right. No. This is a push through. Hold on. So I hope this is right. Push through, pull through. It doesn't take me a lot to get confused. I think we're back on track. Pull through, push through. Alright. It's like I feel like I've been having a hard time concentrating lately. I mean, I do have like pregnant brain. And the dog barking. I feel like I've been having some anxiety if I notice my dog staring at me. Like, seriously. And, yeah, I don't know. Okay. So I pulled through. Push through. It's like, what's so interesting about me? Why are you staring at me right now? Okay. Okay. So, we're pulling through now again. Anybody else learn any new hobbies recently? I'm telling you, if you're bored and you don't want to play video games, just pick something up that you've thought that you never would have learned and just try. Just give it a shot. You know, it might not be for you. It might be the best thing for you, you know? Try something new. Be like, I never really thought about doing this before. I mean, maybe I have. I might have given it one little tiny thought, and then I was like, well, that's it, you know? Kind of like derby. When I was in Japan, I saw a flyer for a derby team, and I thought it was really cool, but I was in the military and I didn't think I'd have the time to learn and practice while being on night shift. And then I get over here and I go skating one time at my local skate rink that I haven't gone to in forever. And they have a derby team that practices there. And so I did that for a little while. I did that. I practiced. I learned some of the fundamentals. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe derby isn't necessarily for me. It seems kind of clicky. It is really fast paced, and it's very physical. Not that I'm not a physical person, but not everybody on the team, you know, had children or, you know, husbands or whatever. Like, they had girlfriends that were on the team. You know what I mean? And so I was like, my priority is, you know, taking care of my kids right now, and I can't do that if I have broken limbs, you know? So then I was like, well, maybe just dancing is the mission, you know? So I started doing more recreational skating at the skate rink, and, you know, I still practice going around fast when everybody else was jam skating, but, you know, while I was going around fast and watching everybody else dance while skating, I was like, you know, looking at their feet and seeing the moves that they do, how they do it, and maybe one day, when I'm not pregnant, I can attempt to try that style of skating and take it more seriously, because it's good exercise. It's really good exercise. I feel like I'm not paying attention. So this is supposed to be a pull through. And pregnancy really makes you take a step back and slow down with certain things. It makes you think about other things, and you know, picked up a new hobby. I've only been doing this a few weeks. I mean, and I took a week break or so from this blanket. If I keep at it, I'm only gonna get better. And maybe I'll broaden my horizons and finally learn how to use a crochet hook or some knitting needles one of these days. Maybe when I'm older. You know, I'm only 33 right now. So I've got time, hopefully. And if I don't, I don't. You can't do everything all at once. I really hope you can't hear that dog barking in the background, because that would be something else. My whole stream, the dog barking. It's not even my dog. 'Cause I do not allow that. I would not allow that. If you don't let your dog do that during the daytime, why are you letting it do it during nighttime? Oof. Alright. Okay, so it looks like a pull through. Guess I gotta pull through here. Kinda glad we only have one camera on my hands, because my tongue was sticking out trying to concentrate. But this blanket is relatively big for what it is, because I did use I think it's 7 skeins. When I complete this, it'll be 7 skeins long. So seven different colors for this pattern. Like, not different, but like, you know what I mean. It goes blue, then it goes the tie-dye color, then pink, then tie-dye, then pink, then tie-dye, and then it'll be blue again. I like it when it looks even. Okay, so I'll pull through. Push through. Yeah, I was just talking about Pokemon earlier today because I found an old tattoo artist that I knew growing up. I found her again. Like, I had her on Facebook for a while, and then somehow we weren't friends anymore. But she knew my aunt growing up, and my aunt's only 3 years older than me. And so I hung out with her when I was hanging out with my aunt, and then through me, she ended up meeting one of my friends in high school, and then they became closer, and then she knew my cousin, and then yeah, and it's like, what? You can be friends with all of them on Facebook, but what am I, chopped liver? And but for some reason, even though I have a friend request sent to her, I still got the post saying it's my birthday, so wish this girl happy birthday, and I did anyway. And so that made me view her page again, and I saw that she had Instagram, so I added her on Instagram, and then she's got like 7,000 followers on Instagram, and then I saw that she had TikTok, so I added her on TikTok, and she's got like 20,000 followers there. Alright, so that was this is a push through, pull, push, so let's pull, and then we'll do a border, and then we'll do a push, pull, border, and push. And she's even redone one of my tattoos. Like, when I was 18, I got my tattoo of a love disc done by some Joe Schmo in my room, and wasn't the best quality, and so I had Erica, aka Beetlejuice, redo it, and now she specializes in Pokemon tattoos. But maybe I need to go see her and have some special effects added onto it. Then again, maybe not. Maybe not. If I do go to Japan again, because my brother, he's in Korea right now, but my brother is going to be stationed in Okinawa after he leaves Korea. So he'll be in Korea for a year, and then he'll be going to Okinawa for 4 years. What's going on here? So we gotta pull through. It's kind of hard to tell with this yellow. And that's where I was stationed, was Okinawa, and that's where I got my foot tattoo. I still have a stencil for, so I might get the other foot done. And yeah, I plan on visiting there. I think that'd be fun. He'll be there for 4 years. And they got some of the best ramen there. Yeah, if you ever go to Okinawa, it's not a very big island. Check out Arashi's ramen house. So good. And that's my, what is it called? Like, that's what I base all the other ramens that I eat off of. So the next best place, if you don't eat ramen in Okinawa, and if you're in Eugene, Oregon, there's a place called Toshi's. And that's my second favorite ramen house. And then if you're not in Eugene, Oregon, and you're in the Midwest, then check out Izakaya 88. That's where I've been getting my ramen more recently. It's not the same, because I usually like miso ramen, and I would get miso ramen from those 2 other places I mentioned. But it's a spicy ramen. They advertise their at Izakaya 88, and it's pretty good. I mean, I really like their gyoza. I just wish there was, like, they had a nice little setup over at Toshi's for the sauces that you would use for the gyoza. They don't have all those options on the table at Izakaya 88. And in Japan, they would have a spicy meatball. And I would just add that to my pork fried rice. Pork rice set, not fried rice, just pork rice set. And then if I would actually get 2 spicy balls and add it to my ramen. So good. And both places at Arashi's and Toshi's, I would get like extra bean sprouts and bamboo shoots. And this place here at Izakaya 88, they don't really have that in their ramen. I asked for it, and the lady looked like she didn't know what I was talking about. So, I was like, well, this stinks. But I'm not supposed to have bean sprouts right now anyways while pregnant. Guess that's not good for me and baby. Alright, so we are pushing and then pulling and then pushing again. And then border. And then we are pulling through. So yes, the pulling through part is the regular knit stitch, and then the pushing through part is the reverse of the regular stitch, and that's called purl stitch. So the pink was all purl stitch, and the blue is going to be all regular knit stitch, but the color variant 1 is going to be opposite, alternating purl and regular knit stitch. So we are going to pull through. Push. I guess I could say knit and purl. Knit and purl. And this whole stitch pattern is called the seed stitch. So knit and purl. I thought it was a good fit because there's a mixture of the two different types of knit stitches, or stitching patterns, and just the name seed stitch I thought kind of fit because it's a baby blanket, my seed, not my seed, but my baby anyway. Is it my seed? Or no, it's just my husband's seed. Anyway. Speaking of seeds, I actually need to cook some seeds, bake them, because I had a butternut squash the other day because the baby boy was the size of a butternut squash. Now he's the size of a honeydew melon, supposedly, according to the app that I have. And after preparing the butternut squash, I saved the seeds, and I was going to bake them today. I just never got to it, so I have to bake them in a little bit later, maybe after I take a nap. Probably just put some salt on them and call it a day. Kind of like how some people bake pumpkin seeds. But I did the butternut squash with brown sugar and butter, and it was so good. And it made me think next time I do a butternut squash, I may just add marshmallows with it, because that's what people do with yams. And candied yams, whatever. And I was gonna do apples for the first time with it. I just didn't do it. I didn't know if I needed to peel the apples or keep the skins on. Probably keep the skins on. But either way, it was so tasty. Get into that fall weather, It's almost pumpkin season. I haven't had a gender reveal party for my baby, because I kind of said it, I'm having a boy, to a lot of people. But I was still on the fence about having a baby shower. I have a lot of baby clothes, but I need probably a new baby monitor set, and I don't have a swing. I ended up selling it in a garage sale one time, and don't have a bouncer. I could probably use a new bottle warmer if I'm gonna save milk and use bottles. And then it's if I use bottles, and I probably want a bottle sanitizer, which I didn't really have the first time. Just washed them like normal. But this sanitizer I was looking at can sanitize at least 6 bottles at a time. And that's kind of nice. You know? I'm working on a baby tummy time mat right now. Just need to figure out what I'm going to do for the pillow. Okay, so this is a pull through, so let's push through. You see we're working with some orange, some pink and orange. Okay, so push through, pull through. Push through. Pull through. So the only thing that's different with this blue skein that I'm going to do last is you need to make sure you have like 3 rows of yarn, maybe 3.5, near the end, because you'll need to cast off. You'll have to make your final border, and it takes quite a bit of yarn to do that. So, but we don't have to worry about that right now. It's just something to think about in the future. Is that we're going to be casting off eventually. And when you make your foundation chain, it's called cast on. And it's a whole different thing. So maybe next time when I start a blanket, I will start from the beginning and show you how tricky it can be. Yarn math and all. Figuring what size you want for the dimensions. How many loops you'll need for that size. What pattern works best for the loop number that you have. Vice versa. Because each stitch pattern is different. You know, one stitch pattern could require you to use more yarn because it is more like intricate, you know. So this is what we've been working on. I did 1 row of pink with you guys, and then this is what I've been working on. And this is how much yarn I have left for this stitch pattern. Takes a little bit. Especially if you have to restart it a few times to make sure you're doing it right. And that's the thing, I'm a little perfectionist, and this is only my 4th blanket. And I've tried to learn a different pattern every time. And this one has 3 different patterns in it. And only one pattern is what I've had experience with before. And, you know, I've seen other people's first attempts and third and fourth and whatever, and I'm pretty happy with what I've accomplished. Not hating on anybody. We just all progress at a different rate. Let's see. Yeah, this is supposed to be pushed through. But the loop is very small. You notice when I do this, it's like pinky's out the whole time. Fancy. But yeah, so I'm streaming tonight instead of watching Rocky 2. Because I've never seen any of them before the other day when I watched Rocky 1. I said, I've been thinking about naming my son Rocky because my other son's name is Lando. And I kind of like the earthy elemental themes going on. And he's beating me up on the inside. As long as he doesn't break a rib, I'm good. So we are pulling through, I believe, and then doing the border. No, we are pushing through, and then the border piece, and then we'll pull through in the next line to start. Pull through, and then push or purl, and then knit, and then purl, and knit again, which is the regular stitch, and purl is the opposite. So basically, this pink is purl stitch on one side, right? But if I flip the blanket over, the opposite is the regular knit stitch. Kind of like this blue. Like I said, I might come back to this and I might undo my cast on and flock this blue and then turn it around, do my normal knit stitch, and then cast off like it's the end of the blanket again. I might do that. Don't put my yarn in my milk. Don't want to do that. Okay. Try to make it even. I like making it even across, so I don't get confused easily. Like I said, we're making headway on this yarn here, but we still got quite a bit left. finish off the last skein eventually. Oh no, it's like it's wanting to get knotted. So with all this lined up, I've got this little ball left. But I might have to go potty soon. And let's see, what time is it? 4:22. I might just call it when we get to this next row. I might just take a break. 'Cause I feel like I made good headway. For my blanket, and also good progress for streaming, you know? I made it back. I didn't just say forget it one more day. I plan to stream more, whether it's this blanket or downtime and game. I think I updated my stream schedule, and I think it will be gaming next time. But that's a whole different thing. Like, I got the courage to do this. Now I gotta get the courage to play a new patch I haven't logged into yet. Don't know exactly what to do to start off. Any recommendations on what I should start off with? I know everybody is high item level already. They're progressing in item level, and I'm still like just 660 item level. So maybe LFR, start with LFR. I don't know. I'm looking for raid. We can kind of see, looks like the end of this yarn will be a color that I like. This will go nice with the blue here when I eventually attach the new skein of yarn to it. So that's good. That makes me happy. It's not gonna be like pink again or something, because I've got a lot of pink in here already. Near 4:30 in the morning. I probably should get a little rest, even though I did nap. I did nap for Labor Day after I went to the water park. Did I say that? I went to the water park? That was fun. I went in the wave pool for a little bit, got some sun, and then I let my son play in the kiddie area, which, you know, is not like the baby area, it's the splashy area, you know, where water's going everywhere and they got the dump bucket and stuff. So we found a nice little place to sit and tan, and we got some nachos with jalapenos and pretzel, a Powerade. And then, of course, my son's asking for nachos, and I was like, we have nachos. These are the nachos. But he likes the triangle chips from Taco Bell. So we ended up getting Taco Bell after for him. He's a goober. He's a goober. Alright, so this was a pull through. Let's do the border piece. And then we'll do a push through to start the next line. Push through. Push through. And then I'll do a couple more just so I'm on the right page here and I don't get confused later. Pull through, push through, and pull through. Alright. Pull through? Anyway. I hope maybe this was entertaining and maybe somebody learned something. Maybe in the future someone can give me tips and some new ideas. But yeah. So it's been good to be back and I will see you all next time. Peace.